You spelled Alien vs. Predator wrong, movie. You had one job. Also, movie thinks that if it's set in Antarctica, it can get the Thing brownie points, and movie is wrong. Worthless 1904 scene is worthless. The only reason this is here is because the movie knows it won't get to the killing for a long time, so they sacrifice this dude to the audience gods. You gotta love how the AVP wasn't enough, so they spelled out the Alien vs. Predator anyway, as if they were warning viewers who bought tickets to Princess Diaries 2 to find the correct auditorium and watch a movie that sucks slightly less. I get that the date is important, so we know it's been almost 100 years to the day since the opening scene, and the Weyland Corporation equipment puts us right into the Alien universe, which is all well and good, but low Earth orbit. What does that tell us? Why is that needed? Why is this added description? Character watches a horror film in a horror film cliche. Taking a phone call while climbing a mountain. So, during her climb up this mountain, she didn't notice a goddamn helicopter flying by and landing? Also, if Maxwell knew what Alexa was in the middle of doing, why couldn't he wait until she got to the top of the mountain to talk to her? Sure, he's not a paleontologist, but this feels like a scene that would fit in a Jurassic Park film. This movie might have come out in 2004, but it is dying to have been released in 1994. Can't wait for the Tarantino dialogue and the B-plot about the 12-year-old kid making it on the roster of an MLB team.
I'm bringing in another team.
So wait, because Sebastian grabs one handful of dirt from the site and it turns out to be a Pepsi cap from the 1950s, this guy's ready to fire him? But the same shit happens when this guy sits down at an Applebee's. I'd like a Coke, please. We serve Pepsi here, sir. I'm bringing in another waitstaff.
Hold the team together for 2 days. I'll go to Mexico City, and I'll talk to the bank.
Sounds less like it's a matter of money and more like a matter of Juan just fired Sebastian's team and is bringing in a new one. What good will money do if the man in charge of the site is bringing in new employees? Taking pictures of people sleeping.
I'm documenting the trip for my boys.
You know, because people sleeping are always a huge hit when you gather everyone around the slide projector. Sure, it's classified to all the dumbasses that live in the movie world, but why is it classified for us? We know it's going to Antarctica. The fact that it's classified has no bearing on the movie.
What's it mean, beaker?
It's what they call scientists out here. You know, beaker, like in the Muppet Show.
Or like beakers that scientists use. Why did this need an explanation? So Lance Henriksen is playing Charles Weyland in this movie after playing the cyborg Bishop in Aliens. Guess that means Weyland Corp created a cyborg in his own image after he died. But why did they go with the Ian Holm model before that?
How could anyone possibly build a pyramid out here?
Ancient maps show Antarctica free of ice. It's likely the continent was once habitable.
Even if this is accurate, the ancient maps depict that ice started forming 35 million years ago, and humans didn't even show up until several million years after that.
Maybe I wasn't clear. No one in this room is ready for this trip.
Yet somehow you were compelled to take a trip to Antarctica without knowing all the details first. Seriously, how did they get a responsible person out here without telling her what was going on? I know money is a huge factor, but she doesn't appear to be motivated by that at all.
What about Paul Woodman or Andrew Keeler?
We called them.
And?
They gave the same bull answer you did.
So wait, you were able to call these other guides and tell them exactly what was up, but you dragged her out here without telling her a thing?
Mr. Weyland, when I lead my team, I don't ever leave my team.
That seems like a given for a tour guide of any type. Not sure you need to put that in the fine print.
Let me ask you something. Do we stand a better chance of surviving with you, or with a number 2 choice?
Alexa doesn't think the guy they called to replace her is ready to do this, and they called 2 qualified people who said no. That's 3 people. Are you telling me they couldn't find one money-grubbing guide who's comparable to her? No one who watches the skies for a living notices a giant goddamn spaceship headed our way. We find out later this is a tunnel that the Predators created to get down to the pyramid. How the did none of the humans below see a giant flash of light in their area or hear anything? Also, because the Predators dick around in space after cutting this tunnel, they allow the humans to discover it and get to the pyramid before they do, which f***s up their entire reason for being here. If they simply go down to Earth immediately, they run into the humans before they even get to the pyramid, and this movie is over quickly.
When I was a kid growing up in Italy, you know what they call a moon that big? La Luna del Cacciatore.
Translated, the Bruce Almighty moon.
What are these?
Whale bones.
Even the most basic of archaeologists would see bones like this in the middle of Antarctica and know that they are f***ing whale bones. Sebastian shouldn't need Lex to tell him this. Even when the movie tries a jump scare, it's telegraphed to the point that we can't even get the cheapest of frights. Yeah, it might be cute, but it's still no better than a cat jumping out at you. If I'm going to send cat scares, then I'm definitely going to send the penguin waddle scare. Also, I read that this is a Humboldt penguin, which is a species found in Peru and Chile and not in the Arctic region. But instead of sinning the movie for not geographing right, I will instead sin whomever gave a species of penguin a boring name like Humboldt.
It's drilled at a perfect 30-degree angle.
Which means the pyramid is not directly under the whaling station as everyone had said up to this point. Based on this angle and the length of the hole, that's probably close to a mile away from the whaling station. And I don't want to be that guy. Wait, I am 100% that guy. So,
More advanced. incredibly powerful.
They now know for a fact that technology the Earth doesn't possess did this and cut a section of these structures above the ground in the process. They know it happened in the last 24 hours. There's no evidence of another team here. At best, some other team beat them here and everything Weyland wanted to avoid has already happened. But instead of waiting and checking things out, they immediately decide, let's just go down into the impossible tunnel. This is at least 37% more Rambo than I like to have in my Predator movie. However, any percentage of Cobra is always welcome. The best thing this movie can think of to complicate the situation is to have some dude trip over a mountain of cases, cause a tarp to get loose, and have it fly into the cable rig that the people are using to climb down into the tunnels. And there are no consequences! This works. I guess he forgot that in the Latin alphabet, Jehovah begins with an I. Also, this guy steps on a stone or roof shingle or some shit in this room, and it slowly collapses into the floor. Somehow, this stone triggers something way down below in the dead center of the pyramid to open these doors, which apparently conceal an alien frozen in carbonite. Why would this pyramid have a stone located here that controls a cryosleep prison chamber? We find out later this is part of a Predator warrior ritual. Why would they put such an important stepping stone here? These chains and this alien queen baby-making contraption make this film feel a lot more Hellraiser than Alien or Predator. Come to think of it, Pinhead vs. Predator would be a much more exciting movie. There would be such sights to show us.
Who taught you to translate?
Funny, kind of look like you.
Movie has time for this.
Only the chosen ones may enter.
If the Predators need the humans there to play host to the aliens so they have prey to hunt, and they are leaving a ton to chance. Seems like it would be easier to kidnap a bunch of humans and drag them to the pyramid, instead of hoping a bunch of scientists show up to investigate a heat signature. Awesome! We get to watch a team of drillers we don't know or care about get picked off by Predators PG-13 style. Fun. I know the Predators are virtually invisible, but try following any of this action. We'll throw one guy, we'll stick two jagged blades through another guy, and the last guy gets an invisible spear to the stomach that then turns visible for some reason. Let's set the action scene at night, with snow all around, and shoot everything close up, and have at least 2 cuts a second when we get to the editing room. We don't make movies for audiences. Rando driller guy survives this. Well, the fall at least. Alright, let's remind ourselves why we're here. That's right, it's the pyramid. Get a long look at the pyramid, everybody, because that's where we're going next, if you don't know. The pyramid.
It's probably just there, moving through the tunnels.
I'd say this guy is just whistling past the graveyard, but he obviously hasn't heard any sound from any wind instrument in his life. False fossilized facehugger fright.
Whatever this is, it's been dead a while.
Miller is about as useful in this movie as Forrest Whitaker was in Species.
Looks like some kind of scorpion.
No, climate's too hostile for a scorpion.
And it looks nothing like a scorpion. Also, I swear every scientist interaction in this movie is, I think this is what X means, or says, or is, and the answer is always, no, it's not that, stop being a dumbass.
This should be directly below the sacrificial chamber.
You know, just in case you didn't notice the glow stick that Max threw down here a minute ago.
This is the long count. This is the Aztec calendar.
Look, if you're gonna say like the long count, then I'm gonna look up like the long count. And Sebastian says this is part of the Aztec calendar, but it's actually part of the Mayan calendar, and Mayans aren't one of the 3 cultures who built this pyramid.
10/10/2004.
You sure this is gonna work?
What exactly are the stakes if it doesn't? You only ask a question in this manner if somebody's doing something that could backfire, and if that's what you're worried about, then that's the question you need to ask.
It's a good thing we brought the experts.
Well, yeah, it is a good thing. Because this is like finding Moses' DVD collection.
Yeah, but that discovery wasn't all that exciting. It was like 3 copies of Evan Almighty and 1 copy of Hard Bodies 2. And actually, 2 of the Evan Almighty cases just had Hard Bodies 2 discs in them.
What do you want to do with these, Mr. Wayland?
Take them. We'll run further tests up on the surface.
No! No!
Where the f*** were you this whole time, dude? Did you just now realize that taking these weapons might be bad? Wouldn't you maybe tell everybody that up front? I know this is supposed to be scary, but it's one hello my baby from being sillier than the alien scene in Spaceballs. This movie manages to make Predator Vision look like someone playing GoldenEye on TV with only the red tube functioning. Damn, aliens don't take any time to burst through a chest anymore, do they? This pyramid is so f***ing cool to look at. Imagine this set in a good movie. Predator whips out a bladed noose for some reason when they have plenty of better weapons at their disposal. Do they think that this kill will be stealth enough to kill the rest of the crew like Gary Cooper did and Sergeant York?
The pyramid's shifting again!
It's almost like the movie's saving us. What did we do to deserve this?
The Aztec calendar was metric, based on multiples of 10. I'm guessing that the pyramid reconfigures every 10 minutes.
The Aztec calendar is actually based on 2 cycles. One is a 365-day cycle, which knocks off 5 of the days for whatever reason, leaving it in 20 multiples of 18. The other cycle is for 260 days, which is signified by the number between 1 and 13. So 10 could be one of them, but it's not the only multiple that is possible. Oh, and the Aztecs didn't use the metric system. Awesome! Multiple tunnels with the possibility of aliens around every corner. That suspenseful schematic worked out so well in Alien 3. Touching whatever this is. Whenever you introduce secret rooms and a structure that reconfigures every 10 minutes, it's basically the screenwriter saying, we want to do a lot of weird shit on a whim, and we don't want anyone to ask questions about it.
Want a piece of me? You ugly son of a bitch!
This is the movie that turned the aliens into velociraptors. Quick, Sebastian, tell them about your multiples of 10 theory. I'm sure they'll be impressed. Colin Salmon has been involved in an insane number of projects, and I only have this and Resident Evil to go on, but I do wonder if he has a section on his resume that reads, can get cut into several pieces by laser or net stupendously. Get this man in a reboot of Cube ASAP. The Predators have the ability to end all of this pretty quickly, but don't, because reasons. And it would be a bad PR move to trade Philip Forsberg. The absolute slowest Predator kill ever. It leads to Alien Ex Machina, and most of all, it takes nearly an hour for this movie to Alien vs. Predator. Alright, Alien, Predator, to the death! I can't wait to see the humans reacting to it. And close-ups of 2 things that look nearly the same when they wrestle each other. Woohoo! The fight is awesome in my imagination. Also, when you take 2 creatures that employ hunting, cerebral attacks, stealth strategies, and just have them claw and wrestle each other, the fight that you may have wanted ends up being a punch-and-slash fest that is underwhelming. Oh, you asshole. Since when do you screech and give away your position? While they continue to fight, I will now be a dick and bring up the fact that this pyramid hasn't reconfigured in a long time. It's almost like it only happens when the movie needs it to. So, is this like a money shot for alien porn? Asking for a friend. This Predator doesn't kill Weyland because he's got a medical condition and is going to die anyway scene is one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. Why is the Predator reviewing a recording of Alexa and Sebastian to ultimately read his lips? If you had time to record someone, why didn't you just jump down and kill them and get the weapon you need? You see, this is where the movie hopes you forget the Predators killed all those drillers, because now they're going to be super thoughtful about killing humans from this point forward, so that we'll be on their side somehow. They run towards the elevating wall and jump on the platform, despite there being an extremely high chance of them getting crushed if they can't make it to the other side. And they know the pyramid reconfigures every time the screenwriter wants it to, so why the risk? Also, there's no way they would have made it to the end of that hallway as fast as that platform was moving. The last-second blade throw is a lie. We saw Sebastian and Alexa run out of a closing passage, which means the Predator had to have been following them close enough to get through it himself, but not close enough to make this attack before they both got through the next passage. Oh yeah, it's hard to remember this movie is called Alien vs. Predator most of the time, because it feels like it should have been called a cliché group of scientists, mercenaries, and a rich guy versus Predator. Dissect an alien.
Look over here.
In the peeping window of convenience.
This is starting to make sense.
It is not.
That's why they didn't carry those guns with them to begin with. They have to earn them.
By entering a combination on a sarcophagus that's based on knowing what day it is?
The hieroglyphs are a little difficult to make out. But the story's all here.
I mean, they're hard to make out, but I'll translate it perfect anyway. I don't know why I brought that up. I just want to be liked.
Every 100 years, the gods would return. And when they did, they would expect a sacrifice.
So what did they do during all those times when no one was there? I guess they got lucky in 1904 because there was an expedition that just happened to be there at the time. But what about 1804 and 1704 and so on? Remember, there's a long period of time where nobody was here. Nobody had satellites. Nobody did expeditions. At what point do you say, that pyramid in Antarctica we built is a lost cause?
Humans were used to breed the ultimate prey.
But why go through all this rigmarole? Why not just hunt the humans? We find out in Predators that they have planets specifically for hunting expeditions, and they kidnap humans to hunt there. Why would this be any different? Under what circumstance would there be this many goddamn aliens here? Is this movie saying there's a scenario where the aliens could reproduce at this rate during the Predator's visit? How bad do you have to f*** up for this to happen? This makes no sense.
But if the hunters lost, they made sure nothing survived.
So they would just have to rebuild the pyramid every time the Predators lost the battle? That doesn't seem very efficient or maintainable. It's also a lot of wasted overhead.
The humanoids, the hunters. They brought those creatures here to hunt.
Surely there are better ways to train your warriors than to go to an out-of-the-way planet every 100 years and set up some sort of most dangerous Olympics. Is it just me, or do the facehuggers' underbellies look even more like vaginas than usual? Facehuggers, now with 63% more vagina. I already assumed Miller was dead when the first alien attacked him. He's brought back for this pointless scene just so I can see him die again. Excitement?
When that door opens, we're dead.
Why are they so certain that the pyramid will reconfigure in a way that gives the Predator a chance to attack them? We've seen this place twist into all sorts of configurations. It's not like it's got an A version and B version. It's like the maze in Maze Runner.
They're not hunting us. We're in the middle of a war.
Alexa doesn't know that the Predators killed all the drillers on the surface and left them hanging there as trophies, which now that we've gone through the whole hieroglyph position doesn't make sense at all. Instead of killing them, why didn't they capture them for alien sacrifices?
During a big game hunt, the animals been hunted. Don't arm the hunters.
They're not hunting us. We're in the middle of a war. It's time to pick a side.
This is like when Captain Janeway gave the Borg the info they needed to destroy Species 8472, which in turn destroyed a lot of innocent civilizations that were literally surviving because of the former conflict. And that crazy guy from Twin Peaks showed up as an alien seeking revenge to try to kill Janeway in 7 of 9, but they were able to talk him out of it because reasons, or maybe they killed him too. I honestly don't recall. But I bring all this up to say Captain Janeway might have been the real villain of Star Trek Voyager.
How do you say scared shitless in Italian?
Non vedo l'ora di uscire con te da questa piramide perché mi sto cagando addosso.
Rosetta Stone, After Dark. I think the bus jumping in Speed was more realistic than this. No, no, no! Oh no, not the watch. Why is this f***er waiting to kill her? Does the Predator know that she wants to give them their gun back somehow? Are they aware of the plot armor around her? Earlier today, the Predators killed humans indiscriminately. After seeing the Predator remorselessly kill humans in every movie they've been featured in, it is super odd to see them not kill humans for whatever reason in this one. What was the deal with them slaughtering those drillers before they came down here if they were focused on only killing aliens? This whole will Alexa shoot Sebastian scene is pointless, since we know the Predator certainly will if she doesn't. They aren't friends. They just met hours ago.
It's a bomb. Well, I hope it kills every f***ing one of them.
I know we're supposed to be on the Predator side in this movie, and we certainly don't want aliens to be roaming around on the Earth, but for f***'s sake, who's ultimately responsible for all this? The Predators and their stupid goddamn initiation ritual, that's who.
You are one ugly mother...
Just kill them already! Also, you gotta love this, we need to keep a PG-13 rating philosophy for a franchise of movies that have all been rated R. What the f*** are they standing around for? No one will be seated during the Alien vs. Predator turns into a Bond movie portion of the film. Now they're outrunning the Fireball on foot. I'm just wondering, can the Fireball be more consistent with its speed? It nearly caught up with them when they were on a sled going at breakneck speed. Now it's barely keeping up with them on foot. Now they're out of the Fireball's range, and the sonic boom, or whatever the force, crashes into them. And I'm sorry, they'd be dead. All the debris from that impact would have ripped them into pieces. Might be a sign you're standing on a vulnerable place and should keep moving. Or not, just keep standing there dramatically. You've earned it. I would remove a million sins, plus stop making videos for the channel if the Predator and Alexa started making out. Oh, for f***'s sake. What? No matter where the Queen was during all that nonsense we just witnessed, she's f***ing dead. There is no f***ing way she's made it this far. Once again, a character waits way too long to kill their target, allowing someone to save the day. Lex now has essentially no protection from the freezing temperatures, but will somehow survive both this and the alien Queen. I love that giant whale bones were constructed just so these few seconds could happen in the movie. Never change, Paul W.S. Anderson. Never change. Also, how is Lex outrunning the Queen? I feel bad for Alexa. That was the only Predator she ever loved. Oh, so I guess this giant Predator ship landed right next to the action and nobody heard it? That's cool. I think that's cool. Are they going to kiss now? I really want them to kiss. What we don't see is that after Lex gets back, she is arrested for the murders of everyone because, and I know this will be hard to believe, no one believes her story about Predators versus aliens. By the way, if it was so important to be cloaked when the ship landed, why is it not important when they fly away? I just can't imagine how 2 Predator ships have flown here and not one person who watches the skies saw either of them. Well, at least we didn't have to suffer through a chest burster coming out of a Predator. Damn it! Also, the Predators who scanned f***ing everything couldn't see this alien baby inside the dead Predator. Also, why'd it take so long? These things were incubating in minutes earlier. Face-hugging happened like halfway through the movie. Third, also, why does the alien have Predator qualities? Whenever an alien bursts out of a human, they don't have human qualities. 12 minutes of credits!
You want us to sell Amway?
Let me put it this way, Mr. Raymer. The 9000 series is the most reliable computer ever made.
Mr. Whalen, when I lead my team, I don't ever leave my team.
I can make things out of clay and lay by the bay. I just may.
Space. The final frontier.
I'm laying down 3 simple rules. 1, no one goes anywhere alone, ever. 2, everyone must maintain constant communication.
And number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back.
Well, it's no choose.
You choo-choo. Did you choose me?
Hey! Can you hear me?
Take it down a notch. It's creeping a bit.